Now, in this lesson, we're going to look at tones and semitones. And you might be wondering why I'm carrying a MIDI keyboard here, but it'll come obvious in a moment. If you play an instrument that's not piano, it can be hard to see where your tones and semitones are. Just like our intervals where we've spoken about, tones and semitones are distances between notes, but these are very specific distances. So I will just quickly go through what the notes are on the piano. So you can see the notes are grouped in 2 black notes and 3 black notes. So if I go to the 2 black notes, then the white notes under that are C, D and E. If I go to where the 3 black notes are, maybe I'll go from the top here, 3 black notes, so the note at the bottom of that 3 is F, G, A, B. So there's 2 black notes, so there's my C, D, E again, C, D, E. Here's my 3 black notes, so there's my F, G, A, B. Now, the reason keyboard is so good is we can see all the notes. So if I go from C to D, you might notice that in between C and D, there's a black note in the middle. If there's one key in the middle of 2 notes, it's called a tone. But if those 2 notes are touching each other, so they're the nearest next door neighbours, so notice there's nothing in between those 2 keys. They are the nearest next door neighbours. So those 2 are a semitone or half a tone. So there's a semitone, 2 nearest next door neighbour notes, and a tone which has 1 note in between. Now it doesn't matter whether I use black or white notes. So if I take these 2 black notes here, there's a black note, there's a black note, there's 1 white note in between, so it's still a tone. But if I took maybe this white note and this black note, so hopefully you can see which 2 I'm pressing, so that one and that one, which is B and B flat, there is no note in between them. I cannot fit any other notes in between, so that's a semitone. On the violin, you might notice it because your fingers are kissing. If your fingers are kissing each other, then it's a semitone. But if there's a gap for an imaginary extra finger, then it's a tone. If we stretch bigger than that, then it's not. So on flute and recorder, we can't see. We just have to know by which one. So E and F are the 2 white notes that are a semitone apart, and so is B and C. And I think I did that in reverse. That's E and F there. That's B and C. That's what happens when I try and look at a piano upside down. So semitones, nearest next door neighbour notes, but 2 semitones make a tone. So it's just another way of measuring distance.